Alright, hello humans, Artist with a Fro here, and welcome to the show. We are here with round 3 of the A to Z tournament, hosted and coordinated by Cypher Cards. We are facing Bean Soldier in our first duel. Hopefully we can win this duel. He, I believe, did get the letter E, so we're probably expecting to see Elemental Heroes. A Pot of Extravagance starts off the first turn, and we're going to have to see what he sends. All 6 of the cards from his hand to then draw 2. Again, we are using the UAs, and if we do win with this deck, we will be able to make this deck in real life. It looks like he's actually running Evil Eyes, and if he's been able to get to round 3 with Evil Eyes, that's going to be something that we're going to have to be aware of. So he summons out Cerizel, which is going to probably have some extra effect that we need to be mindful of. But I think that for the Evil Eyes, it's really the back row that I'm really going to have to kind of like try to pay attention to. And it looks like he's going to go for Evil Eye Retribution. So we're going to have to gauge whether or not he's going to be playing a heavy spell and trap back row, and it seems as if he is. And because of that, we're going to have to be able to circumvent that with some possible cards such as like Heavy Storm Duster, something, Royal Decree. This is a heavy backfield, and I'm not exactly sure how we're going to be able to get over this. I do have UA Stadium, but I think the best thing to do is start off first, of course, with Pot of Extravagance, banishing the top 6 to eventually draw my top 2. His card is on the field, and that card, and we're back. His card is on the field, and that is going to be a little bit of a problem. Let's see. Each time you activate the crit monster's effect, you gain thing, and then this is a quick big turn. Once put it on the left, your control, destroy it. Interesting. While your life points are lower than your opponent, this monster gains attack equal to the difference. So we're gonna have to really try to see if we can get rid of that. Of course, with Retribution, it's going to be really hard for us to do that, but let's start off first. We'll activate UA Stadium and see what we're able to do. These Evil Eye cards are going to be very interesting. So he negates UA Stadium with that. Very interesting. But he's also going to be losing life points all the while doing it. Now, we're going to have to see what we can do here, and it seems as if we might be able to go for something. I'm going to test this out. I mean, with Libero, we're not really able to do much, but we can at least bait out the Evil Eyes effect, which might cause him to do something else as well. So we're going to normal summon out our Libero Spiker, and it looks as if the Evil Eyes are going to really just run roughshod around our deck. So we're going to have to try and see what we can do in the meantime. This monster has 3,600 because he is gaining attack equal to the difference. Let's special summon out, again just trying to bait out the Evil Eyes effect. Summon out our midfielder. And we do still have potential to get a card to our hand, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send something to the grave. I'm probably going to end up sending Penalty Box to the graveyard. He wasn't activating his card's effect. Very interesting. We're going to go for Foolish Burial Goods. Sending 1 spell or trap from our deck to the graveyard. Yeah, we're going to have to tech in potentially Royal Decree, but we can banish our Penalty Box to then get the card that we do need to our hand, which we are going to do. We'll banish Penalty Box, which will then allow me to add 1 spell or trap card from my deck to my hand. We're going to go for Signing Deal. And I think what we want to do is force him again, just really force him to activate the cards as best as possible. So we'll activate Signing Deal. We'll see what he decides to do. We'll go for Perfect Ace. Special summon him in defense position. His effect is negated, but let's see if that will cause the Evil Eye's effect to activate. Again, we're really just trying to wait it out and see. He ends up going for Evil Eye Defeat. Target 1 monster on the field, return it to the hand. Evil Eye's Defeat is activated. Yes, we're going to chain our midfielder's effect, thus sending our other card back to the hand, which will then allow us to special summon out either Libero Spiker or another midfielder. We're going to end up going for Libero Spiker in defense position, and his other card is going to send that back to the hand. This Evil Eye effect is going to activate, and let's see. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. It seems as if I can't target this card with card effects. Very interesting. So now he's going to activate his Evil Eyes effect, which is going to destroy Libero Spiker. But he is going to take a little bit of damage. So now we're both down to 6,000, or at least 6,000/6,500. Can't really do much. I'm going to set one card here and set my Rhoda as bait. And I think that that's going to have to be it for our turn. Again, the control that he's able to set up is going to have to be something that we're going to have to be mindful of. The UAs, as they are built, are not built with the... are not necessarily built with back row destruction in mind. So running that Royal Decree, running some sort of like Cosmic Cyclones are going to have to be important for us to have, especially when he's activating Terraforming. We're really going to have to need that set rotation to come as soon as possible. So he's going to activate Evil Eye Domain when this card is activated. He does allow himself to add an Evil Eye monster from his deck to his hand once per turn during damage calculation if his Evil Eye monster is attacked. While Celine is in his spell or trap card zone, which is right here, he's probably able to do something extra. So with 46 and 16, that's not going to be enough just yet to take me out, but we'll have to see what he decides to do. He ends up going for Evil Eye Defeat again, and this is where I'm thinking that yes, the Royal Decree is going to have to be vital. If we don't get the Royal Decree side in, then maybe evenly matched just to get rid of all of the cards that he does have, because it doesn't seem as if he has any Spell or Trap negation. This card here is probably going to have to be the one card that we will have to watch out for, Retribution. So it's really going to be a matter of me deciding whether or not to get the Retribution or to get rid of the other card. And I think Royal Decree might just be the better card to go for, instead of trying to, I guess, hope that he would have something else. So we'll save that out, and now we're going to switch out. We're definitely putting in, we're going to have to put in the Twin Twisters for us, but since we already have the Royal Decrees in here and the penalty boxes, I think we'll leave that as B. I think I'll take out one Extravagance as always, and side that in for one of the Twin Twisters, and I think I'll take out another Foolish Burial Goods and side that in for a Twin Twisters. We'll also then side in Super Polymerization for the last Foolish Burial Goods, and I think that that is it. Do I want to put in Moon Mirror Shield? That's the real question. If we do decide to do that, we'll take out a Hyper Stadium and put in a Moon Mirror, and we are going to say our side decking is complete. So we're going to try to start off going first. Hopefully we can then set up our control as best as possible before he's able to get out most of his Evil Eye cards. And it looks as if we might be able to do that. We'll start off first again with Pot of Extravagance, banishing 6 cards, which will hopefully allow us to draw if he does not have an Ash Blossom. And he doesn't, but that does give us set rotation, so that's good. We're going to be all set to then go into what we need with set rotation and potentially add a UA monster from our deck to our hand. We'll activate set rotation, giving us Hyper Stadium and giving him regular Stadium. Hyper Stadium will then, of course, activate, allowing us to add a UA monster from our deck to our hand. We are then going to go for our Libero Spiker, which we are then going to add. And I think I'm going to actually get rid of. Let's see. While either of those cards remains on the field, neither player can activate or set other field spell cards. So I can't activate any of my other field spells, but we are able to possibly and potentially go for either Perfect Ace or another Libero. And I feel like we might want to keep our Libero on the field, right? And then see if he decides to go for something. We can special summon out. Our Playing Manager. But Playing Manager isn't going to do much on the field by himself. If we decide to switch him, right? During your opponent's main phase, we can shuffle one card. Yeah, we'll do this. Here's what we'll do. We'll special summon Playing Manager, and then we'll switch Playing Manager for Perfect Ace. We're not going to activate Playing Manager's effect. Instead, we'll special summon Perfect Ace in defense position, and then we are going to set 2 cards face down and end our turn. With Perfect Ace, we will be able to discard a card and negate any card that he decides to activate. Of course, if he is running limiter removal, if he's running whatchamacallit, we'll actually allow the Pot of Duality. If he is running a Lightning Storm, then that's going to be the one card that we are going to have to watch out for. He does get Pot of Extravagance, So maybe that's going to be the one card that we're going to have to negate. But he wouldn't add Pot of Extravagance since you can't activate it. Instead, he goes for There Can Be Only One, with some of the other cards that he had being Crackdown and potentially something else. So we know that he's running more control-based trap cards. So it's going to be really, really important for us to get that Royal Decree out as soon as possible. Perfect Ace, of course, will allow me to negate a card. He ends up going for Cosmic Cyclone, possibly and potentially destroying one of our cards. We're not going to activate anything. I'll let him get rid of my Terraforming, because that's perfectly fine. And a Cosmic Cyclone is now wasted. He sets a card which I assume will most likely be There Can Be Only One, and we're going to have to go in for more attack than possible. With There Can Be Only One, it's going to be really, really hard for us to get over that. I think if we decide to go for what we need... We're going to say yes. We're going to send our card back to our hand. We're not going to activate anything else. We'll send Playing Manager, and we'll go for Midfielder. There we go. Thus giving our Libero Spiker back to our hand, just in case. He ends his turn, I draw, and this is where I'm expecting There Can Be Only One to be activated. And I am going to chain a card, which is going to then be Twin Twisters. I'll activate that. I'll send UA Stadium to the grave, and we can potentially get rid of that and that. Get rid of There Can Be Only One and the card that is actually next to it. He Solemn Judgments it, opting to go down to... Wow, really? He really decided to do it. Alright, so we have Playing Manager on the field. I mean, it's like we don't necessarily need to do anything else. We'll just go in for the attack. If he decides to go down his life points, that's all fine with me. We'll attack him for 1,500, thus taking out a chunk of life points. We'll go to main phase 2, and then equip our Moon Mirror Shield on our guy, and then we're just going to end our turn. Moon Mirror Shield is then going to safeguard us, because it will allow me to, if I do potentially get into a battle, it will allow me to go for at least 100 extra attack. So we actually might have this. Even if he gets a monster, it's not like he can do really much with it. And with Ace on the field, if he were to try to activate a card, we can basically just negate it. No monsters, can't play. Looks like we're going to round 3. Round 3 it is then. So this is it. This is what it all comes down to. Oh boy. Alright, so I think we keep the same setup. We had the Twin Twisters, which is good. I don't think that we need to cycle out anything for evenly matched because we are potentially going to be setting a lot of cards. I say that we keep what we have and see where we're able to go from here. I need to top deck Royal Decree in order to potentially, I would say, win this third round. Royal Decree is going to be imperative for this third round. But we are here in the third round, and again, like we said before, if we do eventually win with the UAs, we are making this deck in real life. So let's see how we do on round 3 of the A to Z tournament. And in the meantime, make sure that you guys subscribe to BeanSoldierTV. Also make sure that you guys subscribe to Cypher Cards, the coordinator of the A to Z tournament. You'll actually find me commentating on some of the videos and just again engaging with the audience. So we're going to start off the duel. It looks like he's going to decide to go first, and unfortunately there is no Royal Decree in my hand. Pot of Duality is going to start off our excavating. There Can Be Only One, Ash Blossom, and another Ash Blossom. So he's either going to go for one of those, decides to go for There Can Be Only One. So we're really going to have to test and see what he is going to go for. He sets 3 cards face down, and then he activates his Card of Demise. So Card of Demise is then going to allow him to draw cards. He then sets a 4th card face down. Jeez, this is insane. But unfortunately, he does get rid of his Spiker. It doesn't seem like he has any cards in his hand, though. So we'll activate UA Stadium first, which will potentially give my monsters an additional 500 attack points. We're then going to start off first by normal summoning our midfielder in attack position, which will then activate UA Stadium. We are then going to add UA Stadium to our hand, which can potentially allow us to go for something else. He's going to There Can Be Only One us, so that's perfectly fine because we can kind of cycle out and potentially get rid of all of the cards on his field, or at least force him to activate some of the cards on his field. So we'll do, let's see what we can do. We'll go for Powered Jersey, Right? Let's see. Gains, if it battles an opponent's sponsor and battle damage in face of the equipped monster, make a second attack during the battle phase. During your standby phase, banish the equipped monster. Let's see. Let's see. I think that our best bet is just to then go in for the 700. And let's see. It says we can only control one type. Do we then go for the card there? Do we go for Ash Blossom and potentially try something out? We can try to go for Isolde. That would be very, very interesting. Or you can go for Nightmare Phoenix. Yeah, let's do it. If we go for Nightmare Phoenix, that will allow us to then get rid of another card. Or at least bait out something, right? Let's go for it. We'll activate Monster Reborn, targeting his Ash Blossom, and we'll see what he decides to do. Now we're gonna try to go for Nightmare Phoenix, but not before we do 1200. We'll attack for the 12. Let's see what happens. Take out the 1200, and then main phase 2 will special summon out our Nightmare Phoenix, which will then allow us to activate its effect. We'll send Dreadnought Dunker to the grave, and again, hopefully baiting out a Solemn Judgment. I'm hoping that we can bait out a Solemn Judgment. Instead, we actually end up destroying it, so we'll end our turn on that with Nightmare Phoenix on the field. As long as he doesn't get a monster, we're kind of all set. We can chip him out with 19, but the Pot of Duality is going to activate. He ends up getting an Evil Eye, and he does get a monster to his hand. That's going to be very, very challenging for us to get over now. However, thanks to there can be only one, or rather, thanks to there not being a there can be only one, we might be all set up. But he ends up going for Selene. Selene's going to then get him the card on the field. That's going to increase its attack based off of the difference of our life points. So now we're going to have to really just try and see what we can do to get over this. He sets another card face down, and we're kind of just waiting. We're waiting to see what he can potentially do. Let's see. The equipped monster gains. Not really sure. It doesn't seem like he has anything. We do get a signing deal, and signing deal could be the beginning of the end here, folks. Let's see. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one evil eye. Alright, so let's try this out. We'll activate signing deal. Again, hoping that he is going to potentially Solemn Judgment our card. He decides not to. We're going to then go for, let's see, do we go for Libero Spiker? No, I say we go for midfielder. Where is midfielder? Here we go. We're going to go for midfielder, and we'll special summon him in defense position. This will then activate the effect of UA Stadium, which will then force him to activate There Can Be Only One. Are we going to chain that with another card? Yes, we are. We're going to activate our playing manager, who we will then chain to special summon in attack position. And when he is special summoned, we don't necessarily need him to go. We just need to get rid of the Evil Eyes of Selene back row card that he has. So we're waiting for him, and it doesn't seem like he's going to negate it. We're going to special summon our playing manager in attack position. We'll decide to get rid of that. We'll then activate our trigger effect. Again, hoping that we can destroy... Let's see. Each time you activate an equipped monster's effect... Oh, very, very interesting. So we're going to go for the back row. He's going to then be forced to activate Sarizel's effect to then lose an extra 500. Oh, but then he goes for Crackdown instead. Very interesting. So Crackdown's going to activate. We end up getting rid of the Evil Eye card. Now we can then just destroy his Sarizel. And let's see. We'll then attack that. Evil Eye defeat. Turn it back to the hand. Okay, so now we're kind of like we're at our wit's end. We're gonna need a Libero Spiker to turn this duel around. If we don't get Libero, that might be it for us. He still has another card face down, and again, this is where that Royal Decree would have really, really helped us out. Oh man, and he ends up getting Selene back. So Celine is probably going to set us up. That might be it for us, but we'll have to see. The only other thing that I could potentially get is again our Libero Spiker. That's going to give him 26 and 36, but if we can get Libero, then we're set. That's really all we need. All we need is Libero Spiker, just to turn this duel around. Let's see, we'll take the 32. He ends up going back down to 21 because that's the difference in our life points. I top deck a Terraforming, which might be good. Let's see, we'll activate Terraforming. Does he have a Solemn Judgment to chain to that? He does not. We're going to end up getting Hyper Stadium to our hand and then activating it, which will then allow us to add a UA card from our deck to our hand. We're going to end up going for your big boy, Libero Spiker. And let's see what he has. I don't think that he has anything. I think we might be able to take this, folks. We'll summon Libero Spiker in attack position. We're going to go out fighting. If we do, we go out fighting. We'll then activate Power Jersey, which is going to make him 2,800 attack points. Which will then allow us to then run over this card, but it'll also give us the chance to attack twice. Let's see. Power Jersey is able to activate. We'll run into Celine, or rather this Celine card. He ends up going for Evil Eye Dark again. Oh man, that's probably going to do it for us. Eye of Selena is going to activate. We're going to activate a trigger effect of our Power Jersey, which will then allow us to get it back to our hand, but that's going to be it for us because of the difference of damage. Granted, he can attack with Crackdown, so we actually might be set. We might be set. We'll set Power Jersey. We'll end our turn. He's going to be able to do 26 at most because he can't summon out another one, and if he does damage, then the difference is just going to be... It's going to be enough for us to circumvent this. 600 life points. This is going to be insane. We're going to have to really hope that we can get something. Oh my goodness. Let's go for that. We'll switch out, go for UA Stadium. We'll normal summon our Libero Spiker, which is then going to activate UA Stadium's effect, allowing us to add one UA card from our deck to our hand. The best card that I possibly could go for is Perfect... Oh no, we already have Perfect Ace. I should have went for Playing Manager instead. We'll activate, and let's see. If we run into another defeat, then that's pretty much going to be it for us. But we might be able to take this. We're going to have to really find out. This is it. It all comes down to this attack. If we're able to destroy this, and he activates another Crackdown. And again, that is where... That is exactly what we needed to turn over the duel, but unfortunately Crackdown did it for us. We did not get the Royal Decrees, so it looks as if Evil Eyes are going to take this duel. We definitely needed the Serious Glasses. Unfortunately, that is going to be it for us. Good game. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take it. We'll save the thing. The duel has ended. And that is going to be all she wrote for the UAs. We made it to round 3, but unfortunately, that was as far as we were destined to go. So, just in mind, again, just as a reminder, make sure that you guys check out BeanSoldier. Make sure that you check out Cypher Cards as well, and give them both a subscribe as well as a follow on Twitter and all other forms of social media. We'll actually be linking their social media accounts in the description below. Turning back to this, I think that we are still going to continue with the UAs. We might decide to make them in a real world deck, maybe potentially in the future, but I'll keep you guys posted on that. Make sure that you guys subscribe as well as liking and commenting on the videos. What do you think we should have done differently? We'll probably do a retrospective video on the deck itself, just to sort of check and see, like, how could we have made UAs a little bit better? But aside from that, my friends, I've been the Artist with the Fro. That, my friends, is the show. And thank you all for watching. Take care.